A modern look, Midsummer Night's Dream, emphasizing the sexuality of Tommy O'Haver's 2001 movie Get Over It by Rose Salinas.
Did you ever read a Shakespeare play and never understand a word they say? Well, tonight we're gonna make things clear, 'cause Shakespeare's dead, but we're up here.
A bit backstory on Midsummer Night's Dream by William Shakespeare. On the eve of the wedding for Theseus and Hippolyta, there are three subplots which surround ideals of love. The first, an argument between the king and queen of the fairies. The second, a four-person love quarrel, which I will be focusing on. And the third being six common folk putting on the play Pyramus and Thisbe. O'Haver's Get Over It is a 2001 romantic comedy, which is a loose adaptation of Midsummer Night's Dream. Burke Landers makes feeble attempts at winning back his ex-girlfriend by auditioning for his high school production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. The plot still centralizes on the four lovers. So let's meet them. The first is Allison Hermia McAllister, played by Melissa Sage Miller. She is a self-centered character, moves on quickly from Burke, her boyfriend, wants what she cannot have, and has no real friendships throughout the film. She has sexual relationships with Burke and Stryker. The second is Kelly Helena Woods, played by Kirsten Dunst. She is the good girl character. She has ambitions, is the sister to Burke's best friend, has good friends throughout the movie, and is innocent besides one kiss in the film. The third is Stryker Demetrius Scrumfeld, played by Shane West. He is an ex-boy band player, wants to be the star of the play, and desired by all people. He is shallow, has no friends throughout the movie, and has sexual relationships with Allison and her friend, Maggie. The fourth is Burke Lysander Landers, the only character to have some kind of connection of his name with the subject of Midsummer Night's Dream's Lysander, and he is played by Ben Foster. He is the not so average dude character. He has ambitions, and that is to win back the first love, Allison. He has good friends throughout the movie and has one sexual relationship with Allison and one kiss with Kelly. So a little bit of backstory on the characters. I'm going to go fast. So Allison and Burke were together, then they weren't. And then Allison got with Stryker, which made Burke sad. Burke asked Kelly to help win Allison back, and then this started a love line of Kelly liking Burke, Burke liking Allison, and Allison liking a cheater. Stryker cheated with Maggie, who was played by Zoe Saldana, so I gotta give her points for there. Made Allison like Burke again. Burke realized he likes Kelly, and they got together, which left Allison and Stryker so sad, and Tom Hanks' son just confused the whole time. So if you need a pause here, this is a little chart that I made just so you can keep up with it. So why is friendship so important? One, it shows the likability of the character. Who has the audience support? Two, shows the audience that they have more than their own self-interest and that they are capable of liking another person, which leads into three, shows more inclination to have an emotional intimacy within their relationship than a physical one. Why is sexual past so important? Number one, it shows who cares about physical more than emotional within relationships. Number two, shows the purity of the character. Pure has good connotations, which leads into the third, it shows the separation between established heroes and villains of the movie. So here's a character breakdown of Hermia. In Midsummer Night's Dream, she is more pure, did not want to engage in sexual activity before marriage, and has a firm relationship with Helena. In the movie Get Over It, she has multiple sexual relationships. She often uses her sexual appeal to further herself in the plot by flirtatious behaviors and provoking sexual thoughts to win Burke back at the climax of the film. She does not have many true friends in the movie and has little to no interactions with Kelly, which would be Helena's portrayal. The character breakdown of Helena. In Midsummer Night's Dream, she is more sexually explicit in her desires, especially towards her love to Demetrius, and has a very strong connection with Hermia. She sees her as a sister and an extension of herself. and Get Over It, she does not have any sexual behaviors or lustfulness. There is just simple flirting or true feelings develop over time. She has a best friend, a brother character, an established friendship with Burke, who is portraying Lysander. Important to note that the adaptation does not have Kelly in love with anyone, significantly lacking the love connection between her and Stryker, which is the Demetrius character. Which leads to the Demetrius character breakdown. In Midsummer Night's Dream, he has an affection towards Hermia, loosely based on the approval of her father, does not reciprocate feelings towards Helena, while not in a friendship, has a rivalry with Lysander, which is brought over into the Get Over It movie. He has multiple sexual relationships, often using his sexual appeal to further himself in the plot. He has flirtatious behaviors with multiple cast and crew members. He cheats on Allison with her friend, and he is self centered. He does not fight off the advances of Kelly, as I stated earlier, because there are none. And lastly, Lysander. In Midsummer Night's Dream, he has pure intentions of loving only Hermia, and he only strays from Hermia during the magic flower juice, and he ends up her at the end. And Get Over It, he has one sexual relationship, and the movie pushes sex onto Burke. However, he rebukes the attempts at corruption, which we'll be going over later. And he is best friends with Felix, who's Kelly's brother, and has friends within the cast and crew. And spoiler, he does not end up with the Hermia character, but the Helena. So the literary argument. The movie adaptation of A Midsummer Night's Dream villainizes sexual conduct similarly to the original play. However, it is done in a way which masks truth. The pressures of sex within the film highlight the modernist take on what it means to be virtuous. The two villains of the movie are Stryker and Allison. What they have in common is their sexual past. While sex history is not inherently evil in nature, the correspondence of a bad person and sexual liberation are linked. In the original work, Helena was most ridiculed because she was the most sexually perverse. The two heroes in the movie are Burke and Kelly. What they have in common is their innocence. Kelly is shown to be inexperienced in all platforms. Burke does not succumb to social pressures of engaging in sex. Chastity is linked with good characteristics. The original work, Hermia is shown to be the one who is the most innocent. So what is with the switch of sexual liberation between the two female leads in comparison to the movie? Use me, but as your spaniel. Feminism, Queer Theory, and Early Modern Sexualities by Melissa Sanchez states, female masochism is a convenient fiction of patriarchy. Love of violation, variously termed female masochism and consent, comes to define female sexuality, legitimizing this political system by concealing the force on which it is based. Allison the masochist. Allison's character determines herself as self-sabotaging as she ruins a steady relationship with Burke to get with a bad boy archetype, such as Stryker, therefore ruining her own sexual innocence by partaking in a non-emotional, intimate relationship, transitioning her character from good to bad as the movie progresses. Similarly, in the article Writing Women, Writing Wax, Metaphors of Impression, Possibilities of Agency in Shakespeare's Rape of Lucrece and Twelfth Night by Lynn M. Waxwell. Therein, Shakespeare suggests that women's minds and hearts are like wax. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, Hermia's waxiness would be a performance of filial duty, one she refuses. Kelly the Little Sister. Kelly, similarly to Allison, plays the opposite of what she portrays from the movie to the original Shakespearean play. Her role as Felix's little sister is what she chooses not to conform to as she pursues an emotional relationship with Burke. Both women are liberated in their own way throughout the film. However, going back to the central themes of sexuality, only Allison is ridiculed for her defiance. Second question. Why does the movie have such an inherently strong pushback of Burke and his sexual awakening? Sexy Summer Solstice, Lope de Vega and Shakespeare write fantasies of feminine desire by Hilaire Kalendorf. Young women asserting the right to choose their own sexual partners. Her father blames her lover for this outrage. Even Theseus, the Duke of Athens, tries to dissuade Hermia from pursuing this deviant course. Be advised, fair maid, to you your father should be as a god. But she resists defiantly. Oh, hell, to choose love by another's eyes. Burke the feminist. In 2001, there were still set minds about the liberation of women. In turn, O'Haver chooses to flip the switch of female liberation of choosing sexual progression to that of a man choosing sexual regression, therefore initiating the conversation that men can be seen as a more traditional female mindset for chastity. A timeline of sexual pushback within the film. First of all, there's parent embarrassment. Burke's parents have an intimacy talk show, which he is just unfathomably embarrassed by. Then you have peer pressure. Burke is embarrassed at a sex club he was dragged to by his friends. Awkward. He doesn't kiss back Alexon at the climax of the film. And then emotional connection. He ends up with a girl he truly connects with, which is Kelly, and they are seen at the end just holding hands, furthering the plot that he is not with her because she is a sexual being, but because there is an emotional connection. Coitus magneticus, erotic attraction in A Midsummer Night's Dream by Gillian Knoll. Both overpowering and empowering, Helena's attraction to Demetrius inspires her aggressive and utterly single-minded pursuit of her beloved, the force of which perhaps best captured in her phrase, power to follow. Burke down memory lane. We see in the film Burke's desire to win back Allison, as she is his first love, an emotional connection made which has feminine connotations, as men are not usually portrayed as one who reminisces. Allison is the magnetic force which allows for the audience to view Burke as a soft character who sees value in love. In conclusion, the movie Get Over It highlights the negative implications of sexual relationships compared similarly to that of its original source material, A Midsummer Night's Dream. The characters, no matter if they are hundreds of years ago or just 20 years, still have the taboo connotation that sex is bad. Hopefully, we see progression made in the future Shakespeare adaptations. I know for me, seeing Cisco, the singer of the thong song, singing the credit song is a start. Roll the clip.
The 20